Mason Greenwood will not play for Manchester United this season. It's the Mirror telling us that he might be too early for the next season. Welcome to United Matters channel, and The Sun is reporting that Erik ten Hag had hopes of really seeing him back at Carrington, but the probe, or the internal probe that is being carried out by Manchester United, looks like it's going to take some long time that won't allow him to see to it that he really becomes a player of United again this season. So that is it for now, and that's what we're going to discuss about. And the people responsible or wanting to take Manchester United are really trying to convince David Beckham and Sir Alex Ferguson to really back them, to see to it that they have the funds backing to take over the club of Manchester United. And lastly, we're talking about Erik ten Hag, and not talking about Manchester United and Lisandro Martinez and what kind of player he has been and what he expects from him in the coming matches and seasons. Rokan David is my name. United Matters channel is the YouTube channel. How are you guys? Good evening, depending on where you're watching us from. Now, Greenwood is really a player that is a talk of town ever since his charges were dropped by the CPS in Manchester. Now, Greenwood talked to Erik ten Hag for the very first time. That was last week. They had a dialogue, and we don't know what really came out of the dialogue, but we are told that Ten Hag told him, "I'm happy that the cases have been dropped, and now let's focus on the next step of your career." But that couldn't really help Greenwood to return at Carrington and train with Manchester United, because the manager Erik ten Hag is really employed by Manchester United, and United is really doing an internal probe that is really hindering Greenwood to return to Manchester United, not even at Carrington to train. Now, when you look at how things are really going in through, today Mirror's really gone ahead to throw in a story about Mason Greenwood, and they've been close and have, I think, some good source. Them and The Sun are really so close on the Mason Greenwood stuff. They've told us that Mason Greenwood will not play for Manchester United this season, with the club's investigations into striker expected to take some time to conclude. So the reason as to why Greenwood won't play or might not play for Manchester United this season is that United are really doing internal investigations. But I know they're not doing investigations with Greenwood. They're just talking to their brands, and the fans may be their sponsors, because this is where it comes in a lot, that Greenwood, a very good player, talented, he's being looked at as one of those that was a generational talent and had a very good future ahead of him until he the wife reigned it by posting those nasty stuffs onto social media platforms. And if at all she had not posted that, then no one would have gone ahead to really look at Mason Greenwood as a man who assaults women sexually. But after that video that the girlfriend put out, everything really ran down there. But I want to confirm to you the following, that Ten Hag looks like loves Greenwood and wants him back, but the board is not trying to go ahead and do it, meaning that the board has really chosen to go with the players because most players believe, or some players believe, that Greenwood's return this season is really going to be diversional. It's going to distort their focus on their season, and they might not find themselves going on well with him, because, as I told you in the past 2-3 videos, that these players are really having women at home. Now, these women will really talk to their players, and they're going to be having different thoughts about Greenwood and what he did to the wife. Though it was alleged the cases were dropped, he's not guilty, he's innocent, but the club of Manchester United feels like we should walk into the right path, and they are weighing in lots of things. Terminating the contract of Greenwood will call in for a lot of money. That's it. Now, getting him back might cost you sponsorship, because Nike has already shown you that they no longer want to associate with Mason Greenwood anymore. So I think they are weighing in all of this and say, how much damage will the team get if at all we bring in Greenwood? How much damage will it cost the club if at all Greenwood is brought back? If we let him go, how much do we get in as a club? So the benefits are the ones that are really being weighed in, and I think there are no internal investigations going on because the court, all the charges on Greenwood were dropped. He's innocent, and the club are just weighing in. When we bring in Greenwood, what happens? What's the damage? What are the benefits? When we really terminate his contract, how are we going to see to it that we find ourselves in a position of not losing the brand of Manchester United, because they've built this brand and they've been promoting United more of a brand than a football team. That's what even Van Gaal told Erik ten Hag when he was really going to Manchester United, that you are going to a club that is being looked to as a club, is being run as a brand, not a football club. But there is a line that has really caught my attention coming in from The Sun. They've told us that Greenwood, who earns around £100,000 a week and is contracted until 2025, is still unable to play for Manchester United or train while the Red Devils carry out an internal probe. So, the internal probe is going on, and that's why Greenwood is not returning to Manchester United soon. Then they continued and said this is said to involve interviews to get his version of events and checks on his physical, mental health. So that means United is already in contact with Mason Greenwood, because the internal probe involves the checks on his physical and mental health, because he went through a lot, and a boy of 21 years of age to go through that, it really leaves you not the same. So when you hear that they are really doing the physical and mental checks on Mason Greenwood, it shows you that they might be finding a proper path to bring him back. Then this really caught my attention. Manager Erik ten Hag hopes this process will be complete before the summer, but it cannot be confirmed. It's understood. So Ten Hag is anticipative. He's optimistic that they might find Greenwood back at Carrington before the season ends, because he believes he's a good player, and if charges have been dropped, then United has to go on and really act like charges have been dropped, and they'll go all out to the sponsors and tell them the boy is innocent. The boy is innocent. And if you're really considering the public court and what it's saying, the boy is innocent. The boy is innocent, and we can't treat him in any way that looks like that. But when you look at those two statements I've read, one of contacting mental and physical checks on Greenwood, and what Ten Hag is really hoping, and Ten Hag talking to him, I think there is a glimmer of hope that Greenwood might return to Manchester United next season and be part of the traveling team in the summer, according to me, because they are going out to use what we call time. You know, all this is happening, and social media was really awash when Greenwood's cases were dropped. People were so much bitter, others were so much happy. So the fan base of United is divided. And how do you really find them united? You just have to take your time. They'll forget all about this, and Greenwood will come back to play for the club of Manchester United. Let's hope so in the near future. So that is Greenwood for you, and the upgrade I've gotten from the Mirror, and that's my submission onto it. Now, you know, there are very many people wanting to take over Manchester United, and they are trying to use one of the best faces United has ever had don its jersey and play well on the field of play, David Beckham, to back them to take over Manchester United. But David Beckham looks like he's hesitant. Now, Telegraph has told us that David Beckham has been asked to back various rival bids for Manchester United. Beckham has signaled at the start of the process he would be open to talks, having become increasingly active in football investment in recent years. Then, David Beckham has so far turned approaches and will not be attached to any offer for Manchester United, even if Qatar emerges as a front runner. And Qatar is really one of those countries that really invested a lot in David Beckham while they were really hosting the World Cup. They paid almost every celebrity, every football legend to be in Qatar to paint a very good picture of what was being talked about Qatar, that very many people died and they were underpaid during the building or the construction of the stadiums. And human rights we are violated according to Qatar. According to human rights, the human rights organizations in the world. But what they did was to go ahead and really paint it with some good looking ex-faces. Ronaldinho was there, the Eto'os were there, David Beckham. Almost every football legend that still lives was there in Qatar. And as we stand, Beckham and Qatar are really having a very good relationship to see to it that they can use him. But this time round, however much they used him during the World Cup, he's not willing to come out and back anyone. And if I'm David Beckham, I don't really buy into this, because you don't know what these new owners are going to turn United into. The Glazers and what they've done to the club is just an example that really needs you to exonerate yourself early before you are tainted or taunted onto this new owner that's coming in through. Because the Glazers, if like Eric Cantona had gone ahead to back them, take over Manchester United, right now we would have been slating him, totally slating him without fear or favor, because he would have taken a decision that has seen us reign our happiness for the last 17 years. So I think David Beckham is taking that as an example and doesn't want to attach himself to any of the new owners coming in through, because he feels like it might damage his brand as David Beckham and his love for the club of Manchester United from the fans of the Red Devils. So David Beckham is turning away, but I believe things can change and they might throw man at him and really change. But it's not only David Beckham they're all after, they're all also after the legendary manager who really achieved lots of things at Manchester United in the 26 years he was at the club. That is Sir Alex Ferguson. And they are telling us that industry experts believe Sir Alex Ferguson will have been approached ahead of the offers deadline for Manchester United this week. So Ferguson, I think he should be let free to enjoy his life and enjoy his retirement. He's a board member of Manchester United, and I think even if you approach him, he won't go ahead to really give you green light, because he's a board member. You get? So if he's a board member, then no reason for him to come in through and really back anyone to come in through. I think every person trying to bid to take over Manchester United should use his bid to convince himself or convince the Glazers to really sell the club of Manchester United to him, because even with the fans have no say. We have no say into this, because for the Glazers, they want the highest bidder takes it all. That's what they want. Even if Sir Alex Ferguson wants Sir Jim Ratcliffe, even if Beckham wants the Qataris, Elon Musk comes in through and puts in a very huge bid, the Glazers will hand the club over to Elon Musk. That's it. So I don't see the importance of anyone getting a back up from Ferguson or David Beckham, because what the rules are saying, laid by the Glazers, are simple. The highest bidder takes it all. They want £5 billion for Manchester United. That's it. That's their ceiling. If anyone comes in and really puts that amount of money on the table, they are willing to sell. So even if you have who backing you, nothing will happen if at all that person you are backing can't meet the realistic evaluation by the Glazers of the club of Manchester United. So let's leave that at that, and let's go to Erik ten Hag and what he has said about Manchester United. He has said that I'm happy here. I was looking for a new challenge, and Manchester United are a great club, but obviously less successful in recent years. We are a great club, and is hitting the nail on the top. Great club, but obviously we are not putting ourselves in a position of really being successful. And I think he knows his most huge task at Old Trafford is to see him making United win trophies again. That's it. And that's what is running in his DNA, that he needs to find himself getting us back to winning ways. But liking the club and a new challenge, I think he got the better challenge that he deserved, because if your new challenge is from Ajax to Manchester United, that is really huge. Very many managers to reach that level, they go and coach Spurs, Borussia Dortmund, then they raise. But for him, from FC 20 to Bayern Munich, reserve team, Ajax, now he is at Manchester United. That is really a very huge success. That upgrade, that ascendancy is really huge, and I think he's grateful for the Lord and what has really happened to him. Then he talked the following about Lisandro Martinez. His style of play is aggressive but not violent. Everyone loves him. The fans love him. When he has the ball, he's able to make the right decisions. I like his attitude. I hope we can work together for a long time. Now, I think him working with Lisandro Martinez for a long time is no brainer. You know why? Because Lisandro Martinez was supposed to go to Arsenal. Lisandro Martinez got his cellular and called Ten Hag and told him, please, Arsenal is interested in me, but if you want me, I'm coming to Manchester United. Having missed out on Julian Timber, his first choice central defense signing, he said, let me go in for Lisandro Martinez, and he hijacked the deal and brought Lisandro Martinez at Manchester United. And he's really proven us that he's really a very good player, and the best attribute Lisandro Martinez has is he's a ball player, playing that ball from behind, and gives us what we call confidence that we are really safe when he's really playing into that defensive position. And everyone loves him, and he's really a very good player, very aggressive, and has the flair attached to his aggressiveness. I really like the player, and he's really one of the best defenders in the Premier League this season. So guys, your thoughts on to Greenwood not playing for Manchester United until next season are welcome in the comment section below. What do you think about David Beckham turning down offers of people wanting to take over Manchester United to really back them? Would you think Ferguson should back anyone to take over the club of Manchester United? And lastly, your thoughts about Erik ten Hag on Lisandro Martinez and him having already wanted a new challenge, and him being at United is really one of those dreams that have really come true in his life. I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner is the place to be. May the Almighty God bless you abundantly. First video of the day, more is yet to come, and I think we'll close up the day with the match preview of United versus Barcelona. That is the knockout stage of the UEFA Europa League. May the Almighty God bless you abundantly. Be out.